Today, we are bringing you some Elite Division custom tactics where we're taking a look at Pro FC player Cameron Rock, who actually already has won an online tournament this season. Well done to him. We are using his tactics and walking you through it and letting you know exactly why they are so good. Now, we did a tactics video the other day where we played 4-4-2, and this formation is also a 4-4-2, but it sets up I would say in a more neutral state, and I actually really like it. So one of the big things that I'm going to talk to you about with this tactic that Cameron's using, which I noticed the difference for me, which has helped me defensively, has helped me concede less goals, is actually, this is the 4-4-2 which I released the other day. I had Gabriel on stopper ++ and Tamori on defender. Having both centre-backs on just defend, has made a massive difference to me and how I defend. It has made it so much easier, which I'll get into kind of as we go. So 4-4-2 flat, and the actual tactics are, and I will provide the code for you. I'll put it in the comments as well, because people were saying in the last video that, you know, it's really difficult to see, and also there's no code right now because obviously sometimes it shows a code, sometimes it doesn't. So I'll put the code in the comments, all right? So 4-4-2 flat. Short passing in the build-up style. Now, I think the big thing for this is that you want to be able to trigger runs yourself by tapping L1, LB, using creative runs and using player locks. I think for pro players, Cameron obviously, and plenty others alike, having it on short passing just means that they have that option to pass out to at all times. And obviously, if they want, you know, a long ball pass or a through ball, they tend to player lock or obviously use creative runs or just trigger runs in general. So, you know, I think that's kind of the thought process there, because I've been going balanced myself, but short passing has been working effectively in Cameron's setup. He goes for defensive line at 62, just gives you that little bit of a higher line. I always say with depth, it is very much a personal touch. You know, I think high-level players will always be happier running a higher depth because it's so much easier for them to right six switch, to track runs, and to just be where they need to be in defense. For players that maybe don't feel as confident with right six switching, your instant reaction might be, if I lose the ball, I want my defenders to drop a little bit rather than you trying to maintain a high line and then you obviously switching to that. So go with what you feel comfortable with. I don't think this is kind of set in stone that that's exactly what you have to run. Now, this is how it looks in game when you have the ball. Obviously, it defends in a 4-4-2, and that's how it looks in game. Now, I will give Cameron a little bit of credit. You know, he's using the 4-4-2 here and not using a 5 at the back. And he's also got a wing, you know, he's also got a wing back going forward, and I have that on Udogi. What complements that is that Neymar is on inside forward. He moves in, and you have your width also available with Foden on that right-hand side. So, goalkeeper, I've been running sweeper keeper. It's a risky play, but I think it works well, especially because goalkeeper movement to me really isn't that effective. If you commit to the goalkeeper movement and the opponent waits, they just have an easy tap in. So I actually think bringing your goalkeeper out in, you know, quick scenarios, so they win the ball on the edge of the, or they got the ball on the edge of the box, they dart past your defender, bringing that goalkeeper out, closing the angle down. If they get one-on-one, bringing the goalkeeper out and then stopping the goalkeeper and trying to play that mind game with them, because keepers don't drop to the floor is easy. I think it's a little bit more effective for you to try and, you know, use that keeper out, and having them on sweeper keeper helps with that because they're already halfway out as they are. As I said, the big change for me is both of these defenders on defend, just straight up defender plus defend. That's it. And I think what's been helping me here is that when I had Gabriel on stopper, he goes out and steps on his own accord, and it makes the defensive line a little bit misshaped. So if Gabriel gets it wrong, there's a simple through ball in. I think a stopper is fine in a 3 or a 5 back. In a 4 back, it's very risky. So having both of them has just made my defense so much better. I've been conceding probably like 1 goal a game, really, which I really, obviously, I'm very happy with. My fullback on my right back is Adalo. He is on defend as well. Most pros, you know, will run kind of fullbacks on defend on both sides. Cameron's gone a little bit more aggressive with balance on wing back with Udogi. However, they will manually get them forward. So this doesn't mean Dallo never gets forward. If I want him to get forward, I will trigger that run, and he will then go and give me that sort of option. Now, for our right defensive mid, this is kind of set up in a way where I want Patry to be looking for those over-the-top through balls over to Udogi or even Neymar as he's kind of transitioning into the middle of the park as well. Looking for that because she has the playstyle plus, and that is obviously where she's super effective. Hamshick's just on holding, defend. I've been testing this a lot more across all the tactics I've been running since the launch of the game, and that's having both of these CMs on just defend anyway to try and break up the counter. If I want to get them involved, sound like a broken record, but I'll say it again, you manually get them involved. You trigger them on a run, you bring them forward, you look for 1-2s, and you give yourself those kind of options there as well. Udogie, as I said, wing back plus on balance. He gets up and down. It kind of just gives you a very neutral state of having him there. He doesn't rush forward and he doesn't not get back at all. He's, really is sat in that sweet spot, and that makes it super, super nice when you're trying to move forward and obviously trying to give yourself that kind of overlapping run, especially with Neymar tucked in on the inside of the fullback. You've got that then out ball, to just look for a through ball into Udogie and kind of use the width there as well. You definitely want someone that is capable at dribbling, passing, physical, skill moves. Just a very well-rounded fullback here would be ideal. Neymar in inside forward. I actually packed Neymar yesterday, untradeable out of a 75 plus, and I was like, sweet, I'm happy with that. So I've just chucked him in. Obviously, an unbelievable card, absolutely unbelievable. Like him on inside forward because it's Neymar. I think if you had Neymar here or anyone else who's very, very techie, you're absolutely fine with it. Foden, I'm not a massive fan out on this winger instruction. I actually do prefer him coming on the inside ever so slightly, but obviously we're using Cameron's tactics, and obviously that's what they're set up for. I think someone here, maybe like a Doku, someone that very much wants to just get past their player, get past their man, and look to get the ball into the byline, look for a cutback, look for a cross, whatever it may be. Because Foden's not really coming on the inside, I don't find him as effective out here, but that's a personal kind of player choice. Rashford is on advance forward and attack. He will make some really good runs in behind. You want your player here that is quick. I use Rashford well in this position to obviously get power shots off if he does get in behind. Super effective. Isaac's on target forward and balance. I think Cameron's probably running target forward because when you're transitioning the attack, they tend to drop off a little bit off the defender and kind of drop in. Not like a false nine, but they kind of just give themselves that little bit of a yard, which then sets up an L1 speed boost super well. However, Isaac isn't the best at doing that. That isn't a player that I would want in this position. If you could have an Mbappe, for example, that would make things a little bit easier, but even someone like Son here could do. But yeah, unique. I understand the thought process of target forward. Just my player here in Isaac doesn't work. But in saying that, the formation has been, there we go, there's my code, there you are, I'll put that in the comments. The formation's been incredible for me. I've won so many games from it. I've really enjoyed it. I prefer it so much more than what I had set up here, because I originally had this 4-4-2 where it's similar in that sense. I have the double overload on the left-hand side, though, and obviously, Foden coming in. But then I have that stopper, and then I have both my CMs on deep line playmaker and poacher as well for Isaac. What that means, the difference between target forward and poacher from Isaac is that instead of Isaac being on the last man, he just drops off slightly, and that definitely has helped as well. So different setups and nice. As I said, I'm running the 4-2-4 and the 4-2-3-1, which I'll bring you tactics on then once I'm happy. The 4-2-4 I use to get back into the game when I'm losing, and I use the 4-2-3-1 to see out the games as and when I need. So that's how the team's looking. As I've always said, this is an RTG, and very, very happy with it. I think the only players that I've bought are Tamori and Rashford, I think, and Foden, sorry. Tamori, Rashford and Foden. Everyone else is packed, which is very, very nice. Let me know how you find it in the comment section below. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy as well, and subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out Cameron if you haven't. He's a good lad, he's a very good player, and he will teach you a lot of things as well. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.